Hi, I'm Matthias, and in today's video you'll see my office go through an extreme makeover. My main goals for this project are to organize, declutter, and decorate, and hopefully you'll get some ideas to give your working space a fresh start without spending a lot. This is the current state of my office, a place to dump all the things I might potentially use, but probably never will. The room has no personality whatsoever, and apart from not being aesthetically pleasing, it's also not practical, as everything is out of order and shoved into the different cabinets and bookcases without a proper system. I have old projects from my university days, books of all genres, toys, DVDs, CDs, all sorts of cables and office supplies, tripods, suitcases, running shoes, and even old pendant lights laying around. My ultimate goals for this space are for it to be functional and organized. The first step to achieve that was to take everything out of the wardrobes and bookcases and split into 3 different sections: trash, donate, and sell. When it looks worse than before, basically like a serial killer's basement, you're definitely on the right track. I'm not gonna lie, the amount of stuff I had was overwhelming, but as the unnecessary stuff left the room, I started to feel a little happier and relaxed, and I've gained lots of storage space in the process. Because I was on a tight budget, I kept all of my existing furniture, yet before I could even think about decorating the place, I needed to find a way to organize everything. The easiest way was to define a purpose for each bookcase, so I decided to tackle the fun one first. This bookcase will have all the things that inspire me, films and books that I've loved over the years. The bookcases are from IKEA, and I managed to fit 2 rows of DVDs in a single shelf. So at the back I put the movies I've seen, and at the front the ones I love and the ones I haven't watched. As you can see, some movies I have multiple copies of, something I'll hopefully be able to avoid in the future. Next, and the one I was dreading the most, were the books. When I was putting them into piles, I was selecting the ones I wanted to keep and the ones I would donate, and of course some on the donation pile eventually came back to the keep one. After thoroughly cleaning the shelves, I used the same system as before, the ones I've read and the ones I haven't read, but I also divided them by type, like in a bookshop: novels, plays, short stories, essays, biographies, and art books. Time to move on to the work bookcase, the most practical one, where I'll have technical books and a few others that I'll need in the near future, all sorts of office supplies, and important documents. This bookcase needs to motivate me and to make my life easier, so I try to keep it as cute as possible, with new boxes and baskets to keep pencils, pens, sticky notes, staplers, and other small items completely out of sight in their new permanent home. On the bottom part, we have the important documents neatly put into their respective file folders, pads and notebooks, binders keeping dozens of punched pockets, and extremely useful pocket folders that allow me to store and organize the different loose sheets. The third one is where I'll keep my filming equipment, things like ring lights, small tripods, reflectors, bags, cables, and everything in between. The wardrobe had the most dramatic declutter, and this newfound space allowed me to store all my suitcases, winter coats, bags, and backpacks. Last but not least, there's a new addition to the room, a beautiful green cabinet also from IKEA. After assembling it, I filled it with various art supplies, from acrylic paints to brushes, drying paper, glue gun and glue sticks, and other essential items for my DIY projects. My idea, as cliché as it sounds, was to bring the outside in, so I gravitated towards earthly tones like brown and green. One of the easiest and most effective ways to create a new look to any space is to give a fresh coat of paint to the walls, so I searched for cool painting designs on Pinterest. Once I finished dragging the furniture across the room, removed the old canvas from the walls and preserved the paintings, kept purely because of their sentimental value, as they were the first ones I've ever painted, I was ready to start the painting process. I protected the light switches, plugs and furniture with masking tape and the floor with a huge plastic sheet. I carefully filled whole holes and cracks with spackling paste, especially the big one below the window. After it dried, I grabbed the sanding sheet and made every single one of them nice and smooth. The masking tape comes again into action to create a design, crucial to create a crisp line between the mint green and the light brown. After I was done painting with the brown, I realized it was much darker than I expected, so I mixed a little bit of white until I achieved the lighter shade I wanted. The white paint saved the day once again when I had to cover mistakes all over the ceiling. With the painting out of the way, it's time to decorate the main working area. Hanging above the desk is a beautiful basket with some fake plants in it, perfect to avoid any water spillage on the electronics. Next to it I have a modern metal bird, extremely convenient to hang notes or anything that inspires me, and right below my beloved honeycombs. I had a lot of fun creating the design with them, and they are really easy to apply. Just grab the stickers from the box, glue them to the back, and attach the honeycomb mirrors to the wall. This design element alone will give a completely new feel to any room. Now on to the actual desk. To keep nature as the main inspiration, I picked a pencil holder in the shape of an owl and one for the electronics with a fox on it. The cork desk pad carries on the theme and leads us to the splurge of the century, a brand new iMac, green of course. I also bought a new chair, because apart from it being absolutely beautiful, I felt the need to introduce a wooden element into the mix, and a new rug to give some warmth to the room. On the work bookcase, I created a sort of shrine to one of my favorite bands, adorned with my stunning gold and black skulls and Hindu goddess. And on the fun one, I put some cool knickknacks I've collected over the years. Finally, on the one where I keep my filming equipment, I created a Bollywood set, with puppets assuming the role of actors, a clapboard, and even a traditional mask that looks like a demon straight from an epic Asian horror film. The green cabinet is one I'm especially proud of, where my resourceful skills came in full effect. I wanted something to protect the top of it and that would make the rest of the design elements stand out, so I purchased the table runner, which was quite inexpensive, and cut it until it fit perfectly. To finish it off, I made some floral arrangements with fake plants, some exotic greenery to match the fun and kitschy vases I found at Tiger, and a picture frame with my favorite people. Now it's finally time for the reveal. Overall, I think I managed to achieve what I was hoping for. An inviting, inspiring, and most importantly, functional space that will improve and benefit my workflow. Hope you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment, and I'll see you on the next one.